Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are in. I hope you are thriving and not just surviving. Welcome to yet another episode of the Bibliophile Circle, our very own book lovers virtual club. This is episode 10. This is the 10th week and the 10th book that we are about to discuss. Lots and lots of insights, wisdom, nuggets are available on our YouTube channel with the previous nine books and great nine guests that I had with me. Today I have Alysalman Jivani. He's a coach, he's a trainer, and he's an avid learner and a reader. The book, coincidentally, is called The Barefoot Coach. It's about a cricket coach. And I said coincidentally because there was an interesting match that concluded last night, and not a lot of people in Pakistan were happy about
Yeah,
it.
for
And then
sure.
and how do coaches play a role in it is something that we'll see. So the book for today is called The Barefoot Coach, and it's about a cricket coach, as I said. Ali, thank you very much for joining the show. Um,
Thank you
and
so much.
and let's dive quickly into the book itself. So, in a snapshot, what is the book about? है क्या उस किताब के अंदर? Give us an overview first.
So this book was written by a person that helped to win the 2011 World Cup in India.
Okay.
Not only win that World Cup, then he went to South Africa to make them number one. Then he
Okay.
went to another country, Australia, for a club called Sydney Thunder that was losing, and he coached there for 3 years, and they won the championship as well. So I was fascinated that एक दफा success आ जाना is okay. दो दफा, तीन दफा, there must be a process. He must be
Mm,
doing something right, and 10 years stuck. And
mm,
fascinatingly, he's not a cricketer. He
right.
just has a degree in sports sciences.
Right.
So उस क्या principle से second, because he was coaching a subcontinent team जहाँ पे cricket एक religion होता है, उनको convince करना कि मुझे hire करो जिसकी
Mm,
language same नहीं है, and produce results as well. So वो
yeah.
कितना difficult part था. So he was a performance coach. इससे पहले ये post exist नहीं करती थी.
Okay.
Performance coach, he's the person. This was not their first time. So he was part of the Gary Kirsten team. So Gary
Mm-hmm.
Kirsten was there. I think 2008 के अंदर इसको इंटरव्यू के लिए बुलाया जाता है. सुनील गावस्कर is there. उनका इंटरव्यू होता है and said, "What will you do? You're just a
Mm,
cricketer. You have never coached a team. What will you do?" He said, "I have two people with me. One is Paddy Upton, and we're going to make sure that we win the World Cup."
right.
इतना बड़ा claim.
And this Paddy has never played cricket ever before.
At all. He has just worked with three
Wow.
cricketers before. South
Uh-huh.
African है ये. South
Mm-hmm.
African ने तीन cricketers के साथ associate रहा है. Gary Kirsten के साथ था. Then Jack Callis, and I think South African certain players which are domestic players इनके साथ associated था, and he was a business coach. यानी इसने business की दुनिया में काम किया था. Cricket की ये official first job थी जहाँ पे इसको coaching करनी है.
Right, and
So that
you rightly said subcontinent team जहाँ पे मैच हारने पर लोगों के घर जला दिए जाते हैं, लोगों को
yes,
गद्दार लेबल कर
yes,
दिया जाता है.
yes,
This is where there is a guy who came in and changed the destiny of players as well as the
yes,
team itself,
yes,
right?
yeah.
So that's great. Everybody who's with us live right now, this is the Bibliophile Circle. It's our very own book lovers club. I would request you to drop your name and which city you are joining us from in the comments box. Just probably say hi to us. And we're discussing a book called The Barefoot Coach, which is about a cricket coach that transformed teams, not just 1 year, 2 years, but for good 10 years. And continues to do so. So, Ali, let's go a little bit deeper into the book. Yeah.
Okay.
First, you said that the guy is not a cricketer. The guy is a coach. He comes in, he transforms a team that goes on to win many cups, right?
Yeah.
Hota kya hai? How does he go about doing all of this? What is the book talking about it? What was the first step that he did when he came and started
So
working with Indians?
So first thing what he did was he said कि सवाल पूछता है सबसे कि कोच होता क्या है. So everyone in the team is there. पहली दफा मिला है सबसे, and they ask कि कोच होता क्या है. सब बोलते हैं कि कोच का काम होता है कि टीम खुश रहे. कोच का काम होता है कि वो strategies बना के दे. And they said that. He said, "I'm sorry, I don't think that's what a coach is. My job is to make sure to ask you really good questions. That's it."
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. So what do
Okay.
you expect? What do you expect? अब सारे प्लेयर बैठे, सो वहाँ पे सचिन तेंदुलकर बैठा है, वहाँ पे सौरव गांगुली बैठा है, जिनका बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है, और he says कि what do you want me to do? And Sachin Tendulkar says, and it's in the book, he said, I want you to be my friend. That's it.
Okay.
This is what he
Okay.
says. And he said, okay, that's not a problem. फिर वो थोड़ा डाइव इन करता है कि कल्चर कैसा है. सो देयर इज अ रीजन, कोई बड़ी टीम्स ज्यादा टाइम तक नहीं आती. यू विल थिंक ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलियन क्रिकेट टीम, यू विल थिंक ऑफ इंडियन प्लेयर्स, पाकिस्तान प्लेयर्स एंड श्रीलंकन प्लेयर्स. सबसे पहला डिफरेंस उसको कल्चर का समझना था. ही सेड, सो वो हर्षा बुगले का रेफरेंस देता है that he had a conversation with Harsha Bogle and said, why is this like this? Why are there individuals, not a team? So Harsha Bogle rightly says कि because हमारे एक तो population बहुत ज़्यादा है and we are all fighting for that one spot. So team dynamic बन नहीं पाता है. हर बंदा एक अपनी जगह के लिए आता है, क्योंकि एक बंदे की जगह के लिए करोड़ों लोग होते हैं, और उसमें से किसी एक को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है. And they have this thing that India is such a big landscape कि every 30 minutes if you cross on the road, language change होती रहती है. So एक ही language के इतने versions है, तो इन सबको समझना बड़ा मुश्किल काम है. So Paddy Upton was like कि अभी ये थोड़ा मुश्किल हो सकता है, because पहले तो language का मसला है, क्या बात होगी, what's the first thing they're going to do? So पहले goal setting की जाती है हमेशा. So he said, I'm not going to do goal setting. I'm going to make sure that what are your values right now?
Okay.
What is your value? अब ये ट्रेनिंग के अंदर मैंने सुना है, मैंने कोचिंग में और स्पोर्ट्स कोचिंग में मैंने कभी नहीं सुना था कि वैल्यूज निकलती है. दे सेड के और पहला सवाल पूछा जाता है, व्हाट इज सक्सेस, एंड एवरीवन हैज टू राइट इट. सब काफी प्लेयर बैठे होते हैं, कोई बोलता है कि 10,000 रन्स बनाना, कोई बोलता है कि 100 सेंचुरीज करना, कोई बोलता है वर्ल्ड कप जीतना. ठीक है. सेकंड क्वेश्चन होता है कि अगर मैं क्रिकेटर टर्म आपकी डिक्शनरी से निकाल दूं, हु आर यू एज एन इंडिविजुअल? Are you just a cricketer or somebody else? I want to know the human side of it. No one gives an answer because उनसे कभी किसी ने सवाल पूछा ही नहीं.
And this we're talking about the great Indian team, and you're saying that no one gives an answer. Yeah.
Because they're not sure about it. इनको सिर्फ ये बताया गया, this is a match, you just have to play, that's it. Then he goes to the drawing board and he makes a diagram. उस डायग्राम वो 4 बॉक्सेस को बना के बताता है. पहला बॉक्स है खेलने का, which is you have to play, your players you have to play. This is a very important step. So एक बॉक्स बना दिया पहला.
This is in the book, right? This is in the first few
chapters. This is in the book. So उसके फर्स्ट चैप्टर में बताता है कि फ्लॉ है क्या, क्यों प्लेयर्स. अब जैसे अगर मैं कल के मैच से कनेक्ट करूं जरा सा, जस्ट टू गिव पीपल पर्सपेक्टिव, उन्होंने बताया सब कॉन्टिनेंट के प्लेयर्स उस साइकिल को, ये कोल्ड की लर्निंग साइकिल है, हमने ट्रेनिंग में भी इसको सुना होगा, कोल्ड लर्निंग साइकिल, उसमें से ये ट्रांसफॉर्म होकर बना है कि 4 बॉक्सेस हैं. पहला बॉक्स है प्लेयर का, दूसरा है रिफ्लेक्ट का, सो यू प्ले, सेकंड इज यू रिफ्लेक्ट, थर्ड इज यू एनालाइज, एंड 4 इज यू प्रैक्टिस.
ओके.
सब कॉन्टिनेंट टीम्स सिर्फ 2 काम करती है, दे प्ले एंड दे प्रैक्टिस.
ओके.
कोच का काम जो होता है, कोच का काम होता है वो होता है एनालाइज करना और रिफ्लेक्ट करना. यानी मैं अगर लेट्स से खेल रहा हूं, मेरा काम रिफ्लेक्ट करना नहीं है, मेरा काम एनालाइज करना नहीं है. दैट्स व्हाई यू वुड सी पीपल मेकिंग द सेम मिस्टेक्स अगेन एंड अगेन. आपने कितनी दफा देखा होगा कि यार हमें सबको पता है कि सब कॉन्टिनेंट टीम प्रेशर सिचुएशन में हारना शुरू हो जाती है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट टॉट हाउ टू रिफ्लेक्ट, वी आर नॉट टॉट हाउ टू एनालाइज. अब वहां पे सबके ईगोस हर्ट हो जाते हैं, यार ये कैसी बात कर रहा है. I mean, we are like great team. We have IPL, we have everything.
And we're talking about the Tendulkars and the Gangulis, जो already established players थे. And I think one thing you rightly mentioned, which was very interesting, and for the sake of our learning as a book lovers club, the insight that I got was that they were players, they were performers, and they were all individuals. And economy is a big thing in subcontinent teams, especially Indian teams, you know. So बहुत सारा पैसा लगा हुआ होता है, तो अगर मैं परफॉर्म कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं बिजनेस बना रहा हूँ, तो मेरे एंडोर्समेंट्स हो रही हैं, तो मेरे पास ब्रांड्स आ रही हैं. It's all about me getting it done. One individual, right? And we could see it a lot in coaches, consultants also, but making them into a team where it's not just me getting it done, but all of us getting it done. Was I'm sure a big task for somebody who haven't played cricket also. मतलब जिस बंदे ने क्रिकेट नहीं खेला, वो कह रहा है कि भाई प्रैक्टिस और प्रीच परफॉर्म और प्रैक्टिस के बीच में एनालाइज और रिफ्लेक्ट करना है, और वहां से सवाल आई थिंक जवाब आता होगा, आपने कभी खेला है कि आप इस तरह की बात कर रहे हैं.
Yeah. So now you see the conversations, ये किस लेवल की conversations होगी, so उनसे बात करना. अच्छा, फिर अगेन पहला साल चला जाता है, फर्स्ट ईयर जाता है, सेकंड ईयर में सो इंडिया का वो एक फ्लॉ निकालता है कि वो फाइनल्स हार जाते हैं. दे प्लेड रियली गुड. सो यू से आफ्टर 2007 टिल 2011 एक फाइनल वो जीते होंगे. अगर ट्राई सीरीज होती तो एक ही फाइनल जीता है. एंड दे से कि व्हाई इज दिस हैपनिंग, व्हाई आर वी लूजिंग फाइनल्स, what is there. एंड वो गोल्स देखता है कि यार अभी तो कुछ है नहीं हमारे पास, टीम बहुत अच्छी है फिर भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा. सो लेट्स सेट कि हमने वैल्यूज की बात की, बट इन लोगों ने एक टर्म बोला था ईगो. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ईगो.
Okay.
What is ego there? So उसने ईगो की बड़ी सिंपल डेफिनेशन बताई. So he said, I'm not going to go in the dictionary because these are players I need to talk. So ego की 2 लाइन की definition है, that's in the book. He said, I am always right. पहला part.
Okay.
Second is, I can't be wrong.
Okay.
This is ego. यानी एक तो मुझे पता है कि मैं सही हूं तो मैं इस पे स्टैंड लेना, which is okay. But second है कि मुझे पता है मैं गलत हूं, but still I'm going to take a stand. No, मैं गलत कैसे हो सकता हूं? I've played so many matches. So
Right.
these are the things going on. Second flaw होता है कि उनके कुछ प्लेयर्स स्ट्रगल कर रहे होते हैं. So बड़ा प्लेयर आके बताना शुरू हो जाता है. So let's say a left-hander, so I'm going to name the name as well. Book में इसका नाम लिखा है. गौतम गंभीर is a player. He's struggling in certain areas, being a
Right.
left-hander. So
Right.
Saurav Ganguly comes in. He says that you should play like this. वो एक दफा शॉट खेलता है, फिर कुछ नहीं होता. फिर युवराज सिंह आता है. Same thing happens. अब पैटी एप्टन पीछे से देख रहा है कि ये हो क्या रहा है. पैटी एप्टन जाता है गौतम गंभीर के साथ कि व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन. ही सेड आई एम ट्राइंग बट मुझसे हो नहीं रहा है ये. सो ही सेड लेट्स गो टू द साइकिल अगेन.
Right.
यू आर प्लेइंग, यू आर
Right.
नॉट रिफ्लेक्टिंग,
Mm.
यू आर नॉट एनालाइजिंग, लेट्स एनालाइज. द
Mm.
सेम शॉट वो प्रैक्टिस करते 3 months तक कंसेक्यूटिवली. पैटी
All
एप्टन
right.
एंड देन पैटी कुछ भी नहीं बताता है, वो सिर्फ उसकी बात सुनता है, सवाल पूछता है, एंड इट गोज फॉरवर्ड. After 3 months उनका न्यूजीलैंड का टूर आता है एंड गौतम गंभीर प्लेज द इनिंग ऑफ हिज लाइफ इन न्यूजीलैंड. 8 hours तक वो पिच पे खड़ा रहता है जस्ट बाय यूजिंग अ सिंपल कोचिंग मैकेनिज्म,
Wow.
which is to reflect and analyze. Now these are the success. अब ये एक बात
Right.
हो गई एक सक्सेस की. अब सेकंड प्रेशर. कोई भी सब कॉन्टिनेंट टीम अगर घर पे फाइनल खेलेगी तो वो हार जाती है. ये एक
अच्छा.
मिथ चला आ रहा था काफी टाइम से, बिफोर इंडियन ब्रोक इट.
Hmm.
एंड दे आर लाइक एक तो हम फाइनल वैसे भी नहीं जीत रहे, और दूसरा ये एक सिस्टम वापस आ गया, अब क्या करें. एंड पैटी एप्टन स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग टू गैरी कस्टन एंड एवरीथिंग. अब वो सो उन्होंने कुछ रिचुअल्स बनाए. इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग दैट यू आर योर रिचुअल्स. सो उनके कुछ रिचुअल्स बनाने शुरू किए. पहला रिचुअल क्या है, जब मैच खत्म होगा उस वक्त कोई डिस्कशन नहीं करेगा, एक दिन के बाद करेगा.
All right.
Whether we win or we lose, because first time you're high on emotions. So let's say if you win, you're very positive, तो आप नेगेटिव चीज को भूल जाओगे. If you lose, you'll think of the negative things, और वहां तो बड़ा big mess हो जाता है. You won't think of the good things that have happened. So you identify all of these things. ये उन्होंने पहला रिचुअल बनाया. दूसरा, इनको मुझे टीम बनाना है. तो पहले क्या होता था कि जब वो वैन में, बस वैन में जब जाते थे, एंड व्हेन दे यूज्ड टू गेट लेट, एक बंदे को फाइन पड़ता था, और दैट वाज इंडियन रुपीस 25,000. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni was there, and that's why I really regard him. He said, no, not one player. If you are late by 1 minute, the whole team will pay 25,000 PKR rupees, or PKR
Right.
Indian rupees.
Right.
So everyone started taking accountability. So कोई लेट होता था तो उसको पकड़ के बाहर लेके आते थे कि भाई, because of you we are losing money. I mean हमारी गलती भी नहीं है, we are losing. You know, individual economy की
Peer
बात हो रही
pressure.
है.
Peer
So
pressure. Yeah.
so they started going towards it, and it started working. They started taking care of each other.
This is
अच्छा,
interesting.
अब
So the first part that he did was, and then as the book talks about it, and I think this is interesting because not just cricket, anywhere, किसी भी field के अंदर high performance के लिए, these are some excellent tools, right?
Yes, yeah.
And this is why I love this book, because you could actually use it to yourself, to coach yourself.
Yes.
You know, if
Yeah.
you don't want to go to a coach, you don't want to spend money to the coach, at least go read the book and coach yourself.
Yeah.
So interestingly, we perform and we practice, or
That's it.
we don't analyze and reflect. So that was an
Yes.
important part. Then the second part is the rituals, and I think हमने बहुत सारी और किताबों में भी पढ़ा है, habits और rituals, routines जो हैं वो बहुत
Yes.
important है. There's this other book called The Culture Code, which is about company culture itself, which
Daniel
again
Cole.
talks about Daniel Cole, which again talks about rituals. So I think this is amazing कि किस तरह से basics time पे आना, is a basic ritual, but it could actually
Yeah.
change the whole psyche of the team.
Yeah.
What else? This is interesting. Yeah.
सो अब आपने डेनियल कोयल की बात की, सो इसमें डेनियल कोयल की एक और किताब है टैलेंट कोड. सो इस बुक में इसका रेफरेंस दिया जाता है कि टैलेंट की डेफिनेशन क्या है, बिकॉज देयर आर सर्टेन प्लेयर्स दैट सेड यार मैं तो टैलेंटेड हूं, आई डोंट नीड टू प्रैक्टिस. There are
So
certain players that said that.
Barefoot Coach is giving this reference of talent code,
Reference,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
उसमें
yeah.
at least 10 books के different references दे दिए, because he's a
Hmm.
person, because see he's not played cricket at all. He needs to think out of the box, and Gary Kirsten was there as the coach and he said कि यार you do whatever you want, I need results. And
Hmm.
मुझे process समझाते थे and tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. So Daniel
Right.
Coyle की किताब है टैलेंट कोड, जिसमें बताते हैं कि greatness is grown. You are
Mm-hmm.
not born great, you are
Mm-hmm.
not made great, it is grown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
एंड वो ग्रो करने के लिए आपको कुछ बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स रेगुलरली करने हैं, विच मीन्स डिसिप्लिन होना, विच मीन्स वैल्यूज का समझना, एंड व्हाई डू यू प्ले द स्पोर्ट. इट
Right.
इज वेरी
Interesting.
इंपॉर्टेंट. अब ये कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही है, अब वो
Hmm.
2010 और 11 का टाइम है, एंड प्लेयर्स आर गेटिंग स्कैर्ड कि यार घर पे वर्ल्ड कप है, हर बंदा पहले तो टिकट के लिए तंग करेगा, दूसरा हर बंदा एक ही सवाल पूछेगा, वर्ल्ड कप तो घर पे ही आ रहा है, वर्ल्ड कप तो घर पे ही आ रहा है. नाउ दे हैव नॉट इवन स्टार्टेड द वर्ल्ड कप एंड दे आर स्कैर्ड. नाउ दीस आर प्लेयर्स जो कि परफॉर्मर्स है, एंड दैट्स द रीजन नो होम कंट्री हैज वॉन द वर्ल्ड कप.
Hmm.
Now Paddy Upton and Gary Kirsten are again talking, what do we do now? And so they call someone called Mike Horn, MIK, Mike Horn. उसको बुलाते हैं. He's a बोलते हैं ना extreme sports वो करता है. So he's gonna go to the North Pole. He's going to climb up the mountain and then come down. And उसको बुलाया जाता है. He's a friend of Paddy Upton because Upton himself is a surfer as well. वो भी
Hmm.
extreme करता है. So he
Right.
calls Mike Horn and says कि have a conversation with him. Have the conversation with the Indian cricket team. They're scared. ये इनके जो phrases हैं, ये phrases में बड़ा मसला है. Because so what are the phrases? Winning is a habit. पहला
Hmm.
phrase. Second thing, we are giving our best.
Hmm.
Mike Horn said, I'm sorry, these are not the phrases of champions.
Ah.
You need to think different now. So what are
Hmm.
you going to do? So
And then and you know, this is, I think this is something very interesting. I just saw Farhad was with us recently, but Farhad always talks about language and how language plays an important
yeah,
role. So you know, self language, talking to yourself, plays an important
बहुत
role. So
important,
so
बहुत
so
important. So
what were those phrases for champions?
so he says that first thing is that winning is result,
Mm-hmm.
which is based on certain principles that you have to practice regularly. That's
Mm-hmm.
number one thing. Second, so he made a graph called A plus B equals to C. But a simple
Okay.
line likhi. So A is your controllables,
Mm-hmm.
B is your uncontrollables.
Okay.
You can only focus on the A, that's it. B, you cannot control. So what people think about you, what the country is saying right now, that's not your job.
Right.
Your job is to focus on A. You have to make it
and
very
and
simple for these
and
players.
this is so amazing for today, you know.
Yeah.
This time that we are living in, COVID ने दुनिया बदल दी है, you know. Controllables were
Yeah.
always higher than uncontrollables, but now
Yes.
uncontrollables are higher. But you know, and then we talk about mental health, we talk about low performance, we talk about people losing their jobs and their businesses. The thing is very simple. Winning depends on your controllables right now, because you
That's it.
cannot do anything about your uncontrollables,
Yeah.
rather than just bad ke or soch ke or stress lene ke alawa. So
Yeah,
so
that's
I think this is amazing. Yeah.
so this is what he said. So पहले तो एक graph बनाया, अब ये controllable, and then he has a discussion के I was there on a mountain and he gives certain researches there. Success के बाद की journey बहुत important है, because failure will take care of itself. Failure
This is
खुद
interesting.
failure will take care of itself. You don't worry about that. Success and success की बात की journey बहुत important है. So वो research देता है कि because he's a mountain climber, so mountain climbers they go, and he said that 18%, 18% of mountain climbers die on the way up.
On the way up.
But 80%, 80% die on the way down.
Wow. Wow.
So you need to think really well. And he said,
Right.
I'm a mountain. So Mike बोलता, I'm a mountain person. मेरे लिए एक breath भी बहुत important है.
Right.
अगर if I'm not controlling my day-to-day breath, I will die directly, because I'm in a mountain जो कि extreme environment है. यहाँ पे आता है commitment, और वो
Right.
commitment की definition बताता है. Commitment means the will to win is higher than the fear of losing. He said, if I think of fear of losing, I'm dead.
Wow.
So क्या आपके team players जो बराबर में बैठे हैं, will you go on the mountain run with them? Because understand, एक भी बंदा slow हुआ, एक भी बंदे का breathing change हुई and something happens to that, that's that dead weight you have to carry.
Right.
So you have to be very careful. क्या आसपास देखो, see about it. So ये जब conversation हुई, कुछ players इसके पास उठ के आके बात करना शुरू हो गए कि यार इस बंदे में दम है, we need to talk. The one person that came was Yuvraj Singh. So he came and he talked to Paddy Upton that I was just close being dropped from the team and I want to win the World Cup. He said, what's your biggest goal right now? He said, I'm visualizing that I'm in Mumbai, Wankhede Stadium. I'm playing against Australia and I'm doing the winning shot. And he said, hold that thought right there. You need to think about it regularly with me. So Yuvraj Singh के साथ वो उस पे काम करता है, पहला aspect. Second, वो बात करता है pressure के ऊपर.
when if you could visualize it, you could actualize it.
Yes. So वो visualization फिर वो पूरी टीम को करवाया जाता है.
And I think from a book's perspective, this is so interesting because Paddy जो है वो किताब तो अपने बारे में लिख रहा है और अपनी success के बारे में लिख रहा है. But here he's talking about somebody else who helps him to achieve that success as a team member, and he's openly talking about it. Openly. So I think that's also interesting how he's taking responsibility of others and then giving them the credit where it's due. So this is interesting. Yeah.
अच्छा, अब जारी बात है, कुछ ना कुछ तो लोग लैशबैक भी करेंगे कि यार ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं, हमें नहीं समझ आ रहा, what are you doing? So in the book he mentions about Steve Waugh, and he said that Steve Waugh wrote his biography called No Regrets Tour in 99 World Cup जीतने के बाद. और वहां पे उन्होंने बात की. So Steve Waugh, so he's a person to model, so you need a role model as well that is outside as well. So उन्होंने Steve Waugh को मॉडल किया कि यार how was he able to win so many World Cups and win so easily? What was he doing? So Paddy Upton said he was just listening. That's it. He was just listening to his players, nothing else. So वो एक incident quote करता है कि in the 99 World Cup they were this close by losing. They were losing. पाकिस्तान से हारते group stages के अंदर and they were on the verge of getting knocked out. So उनकी पूरी team बैठती है. And Steve O said, whatever your grievances is, whatever it is, talk it out. I'm here to listen. So Tom Moody वहाँ पे खड़ा होता है कि यार हमें रात में पार्टी करनी है. I know it's the World Cup. We want to party. We are adults. We can take care of ourselves. We'll win you the World Cup. Let us go out and let us do whatever we want. And that thing changed everything. And they won the World Cup because of that. It's written in his biographies में quote करता है. So Paddy Upton is now having conversation. Now there are 4 people. So Mike Horn is also there जो कि conversation कर रहा है. युवराज सिंह comes up जो कि अपना visualization बता रहा है कि मुझे ये करना है. अब माइक एक और बात करता है कि यार इन प्लेयर्स पे प्रेशर बहुत ज्यादा होता है. अगर ज्यादा प्रेशर ले लिया तो you'll break. So प्रेशर को मैनेज करना है और वो टीम प्लेयर्स कर सकते हैं. So किसी ने एक दिन प्रेशर ले लिया, किसी ने एक दिन. So everyone needs to take responsibility. Everyone. That includes the ground staff, that includes the water. Everyone is there, needs to take responsibility.
Right.
And now we come to the next part. अब आ गए finals का time. And Gary Kirsten and Paddy Upton are talking. We are in India World Cup शुरू हो चुका है. India is a bit dodgy, and they said, it's okay. Let them be the underdog. It's okay they are losing because winning. Remember, success के बाद आप गिरते हो बड़ी मुश्किल से. So they lost one match against South Africa. और उसमें वो साउथ अफ्रीकन स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में बात करता है. आपने देखा होगा साउथ अफ्रीका, they always lose in the crunch moments.
They call the chokers, right? Yeah.
So Paddy Upton is South African. He said, you know why they lose? Because वो प्रेशर को सस्टेन कर रहे होते हैं. अगर लॉन्ग टाइम तक प्रेशर सस्टेन करोगे, you'll break.
Okay.
You need to manage that pressure. You cannot be all the time. So जब वर्ल्ड कप स्टार्ट होता है, एंड होता है, they are in that pressure. You need to enjoy. You are here to enjoy. You are here to have fun. You need to do that. It is very important. Yes, बाकी बड़ी बातें important, but you need to have fun. So they started having fun. So वो मजाक करना एक दूसरे के साथ. So वो सारे rituals. Again, these are all rituals. कि after the match के बारे में बात नहीं होगी, मजाक होगा. They'll have a good laugh, and that's how it happens.
I'll come back to that. That was an interesting thing. What he said was कि loss तो अपना खुद ही take care करता है. You need to think about what will happen after
Winning.
success. Yeah.
Yes.
After winning, what will happen after that, and what's so just take us through that a little bit.
So I'm gonna give you another interesting insight. He said कि last 3 World Cup winners, when they won the World Cup, उसके बाद वो हारना शुरू हो गए. So India won the World Cup. They lost 8-0 to India and Australia. 2015 Australia won the World Cup. They lost the Ashes in England. 2019, England won the World Cup. They lost the Ashes to Australia. They said there is a flaw right now. There is a big flaw. Success के बाद की जर्नी किसी ने बनाई नहीं है. So Paddy Upton says कि हमने success के बाद भी एक गोल रखना बहुत जरूरी है. फिर वो different sports के अंदर जाता है. So Rafael Nadal की biography के बारे में बताता है. So Rafael Nadal says that whenever I win a championship, I am a +5. So the next day I need to make sure कि उस +5 को मैं 0 पे लेके आऊं and I start working again.
Right.
If I'm losing, I'm a -3 right now. Next day उस -3 को ही मुझे 0 पे लेके आना है. And
Amazing.
That's what you call sustaining success. So this is the principle that he's talking about. And this is what I found was very important, because हमने winning को इतना सर पे चढ़ा लिया था कि और कुछ बचा ही नहीं था. That caused the pressure. You were not enjoying it. You were thinking, what if मैं हार जाऊं? Fear of losing. तो commitment तो चले गई आपकी. So this was so important at that aspect. Now Paddy is there. He's talking to everyone. Ke, it's okay. You talk about it. You need to have fun. You go out. So even in India, where it was all locked down because of the World Cup pressure, they were able to go out. They were able to relax. And at the end, they were able to win the World Cup.
Right. Okay.
So अच्छा अब वर्ल्ड कप खत्म होने के बाद एक बहुत बड़ी लाइन आती है कि उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हो जाता है 2 तारीख को, which is the World Cup day.
Okay.
And he looks to Gary Kirsten and he said, now what? अब मैं क्या करूं? एक दफा तो कर लिया, अब तो वेट करना पड़ेगा. South African, Gary Kirsten is South African, Paddy Upton is South African. They say, let's go home. They go to South Africa. They contact South Africa that we want to coach the South African team right now. You know, they want to coach the South African team. And South African team बुला लेती है कि यार World Cup जीत के आया है. You know, 2015 में हम जीत जाएंगे. They start doing that. Gary Kirsten, again, same principles there. Again, Mike को वापस बुलाया जाता है. The same Mike जो के Mountaineer था. Same process is there. A+B. Everything is there. 2012 आता है. South Africa becomes the #1 team in Test, T20 and One Day. It's 2012. वो सीरीज जीतने के बाद Gary Kirsten has a personal issue with his family and he says that I want to now take a break from coaching.
Right.
Gary Kirsten goes away. Paddy Upton has to leave. And Russell Domingo एक और कोच आता है और सारे प्रिंसिपल जो मेहनत थी वो सब रुक जाते हैं. And what happens? They lose.
Wow.
In 2015 again the principles were not practiced. और उसमें वो chapter का नाम है.
This is हाँ chapter का नाम है. Sorry, go ahead.
So chapter का नाम था. So Russell Domingo जब आता है coaching करता है तो वो बोलता है there is no Zen shit. So Zen, Z-E-N, Zen is जिसमें हम why reflection करते हैं. उसको मना करो, हमें खेलना है. We are players. We want to play. वो उसको क्रॉस करता है and I think this becomes one of the reasons they lost because again वो playing, you know, they're not analyzing, so वो गलतियां होंगी. If you're not analyzing and not reflecting, you will lose. So Paddy said, what's my new challenge now? फिर उसको अच्छा it's strangely उसको लाहौर कलंदर भी कॉल करते हैं.
Okay.
लाहौर कलंदर भी कॉल करते हैं. They said कि come to Pakistan और वो पहले साल पाकिस्तान आता है. सारे प्रिंसिपल्स वापस स्टार्ट करता है.
Okay.
बोलते हैं हमसे नहीं होगा. We cannot do this.
Oh my God.
एक साल बाद वो चला जाता है. This is it's in the book. It's in the book. It's written that Lahore Qalandar hired. So they did the right thing, but they didn't sustain it. And I think that was the flaw. So उसने जब पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट के ऊपर एक पैराग्राफ दिया है पूरी किताब के अंदर और उसमें बताता है that this is the team that has everything. They don't have the discipline and they cannot sustain it. अगर आप कल के मैच के ऊपर जाओ, there was कोच जो थे वो रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहे थे, वो एनालाइज कर रहे थे. Players were playing and practicing.
Yeah, I don't know. We you know that's a separate discussion we can have today. We are talking about the Barefoot Coach by Paddy Upton.
So it's written in the book.
Yeah. So I don't know if coaches were analyzing or not, but I think this is an important point. But you're saying कि discipline, and then I think all of us who know Pakistan team जानते हैं कि discipline का कितना बड़ा issue है, you know. And I think now going down to जो Bibliophile Circle का हमारा a core theme होता है, you know, taking action insights for ourselves. Interestingly, Farhad is also asking in one of the comments के, you know, how does Ali apply the learning to his coaching? But I think that's probably a separate episode, Ali, that we need to do. It's a BizWords episode. But Bibliophile, we need to talk about the book. So in terms of some core action items that we could learn from the book. The book, by the way, is very, very interesting. Anybody who's interested in self coaching and learning principles of success and high performance should pick it up.
Yeah.
So पहला principle जो मुझे conversation से feel हुआ, something which we can all go and apply, is that the will to win should be higher than the fear of losing.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. What would be the second action item that you would say we could take from the book?
So identify the controllables and the
Mhm.
uncontrollables, and focus
Right.
on the controllables.
Yeah.
That's it. Focus on the
That's it.
controllables.
Because you could just focus on the controllables and nothing else.
Yes,
There's another interesting part in the book where he talks about self-doubt, is a natural human condition. Take us through a little
yes.
bit about that.
So this is what he says that so self doubt होना is normal. So अगर वो individuals normal इंसान को भी होता है तो players को भी ये चीज होती है. And he goes through that. So now the last thing what he does के last part of the book अगर हम आ जाते हैं. So he goes to Sydney Thunder. ये
Okay.
एक ऑस्ट्रेलियन की टीम है जो कि काउंटी है. सो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का अपने जैसे आईपीएल होता है इस तरह बिग बैश होता है. एंड द टीम इज लूजिंग बिग टाइम.
Right.
एंड माइकल हसी से ये बात करता है. माइकल हसी ये लाइन बोलता है दैट सेल्फ डाउट इज अ नेचुरल ह्यूमन कंडीशन एंड वी आर गोइंग टू सेल्फ डाउट. हेल्प अस थ्रू इट.
Wow.
सो वो दो इंस्टेंस कोट करता है. पहला इंस्टेंस एक इंडिया का कोट करता है जहां पे उसने सो ही वर्क विद राजस्थान रॉयल्स एज वेल एंड दैट वाज आफ्टर मैच फिक्सिंग. So 2013 में मैच फिक्सिंग होती है and he went to राजस्थान रॉयल्स for a while to make sure कि
Right.
उनका कल्चर उनके प्रोसेस बना के वापस आ जाए.
Right.
तो उसमें ये इसका आंसर देता है. So उसमें दो चीजें बताता है कि हर बंदा सेल्फ डाउट को अलग तरीके से डील करता है. पैटी अपटन said I'm going to deal it in a very funny way.
Okay.
So वो स्टोरी बताता है कि राजस्थान में so there's a player is a 42-year-old.
Okay.
प्रवीण तांबे इसका नाम है. राजस्थान का प्लेयर है. राजस्थान इज नोन फॉर फास्ट ट्रैक्स. वहां पे
Okay.
स्पिनर का नॉर्मली इतना काम नहीं होता. सो प्रवीण तांबे इज देयर एंड इज गोइंग टू सेल्फ डाउट हिमसेल्फ एंड ही सेड कि ही इज अ लोकल बॉय. और पैडी अपटन बोलता है कि यार मैं बहुत माफी मांग के ये बात कर रहा हूँ कि मैंने बहुत गलत बात की बट ये जरूरी थी.
Okay.
वो प्रवीण तांबे को बोलता है कि यार जो बॉल है वो है $250 की. इट्स अ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव बॉल और अभी हालात खराब है तो 10 बॉल्स हमारे पास हैं. ठीक है. आई नो यू आर गोइंग थ्रू योर सेल्फ डाउट और ये पानी में डाल दी ना तो बॉल हमारे पास वापस नहीं आएगी.
Okay.
सो सेल्फ डाउट इज अ थॉट. वो एक नया थॉट डालता है दैट द बॉल विल गेट वेट और हम यूज नहीं कर सकेंगे. सो प्रवीण तांबे द प्लेयर थिंक्स अबाउट द बॉल, परफॉर्म सो वेल विद द बैट्समैन कि कोई भी बंदा पानी में बॉल डाल नहीं पाता. एंड इन द एंड it's in the book and in the end they Praveen Tambe becomes the bowler of the tournament in 2013 Champions League.
Amazing.
And I was like wow यार कैसे एक थॉट के जरिए इसने मजाक करते हुए ये पूरा काम करवा लिया.
बॉल जो है ना वो ऐसी जगह ना जाए कि वो ड्यू में और पानी में जाए तो हमारे पास बॉल कम है तो अपनी बॉल मानी जानी चाहिए. एक फ्लिप कर दिया थॉट को.
उसी वक्त किया. So last thing that he says then he come to Sydney Thunder. वो आखिरी स्टैंड है बुक का और उसके बाद ये मंडेला से मिलने जाता है. सो अपनी 96 की कॉन्वर्सेशन बताता है नेल्सन मंडेला से. सो अगेन वो माइक हसी से ही बात कर रहा है and he says कि यार how do you define leadership because next time Michael Hussey was becoming a coach and he said I understand all these principles and we have won. मैं sustain करना चाहता हूँ. What are great leaders like? Leaders होते क्या? And I said leaders title लेके नहीं जाते हैं and I'm going to tell you how. So he says that Nelson Mandela से 96 में मिलता है first time और एक पिक्चर खिंचवाता है. नेल्सन मंडेला को बोलता है कि आई वांट यू टू साइन दैट ऑटोग्राफ. नेल्सन मंडेला बिकॉज़ ही इज अ प्रेसिडेंट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ही कुडंट डू दैट. थोड़ा टाइम बाद वापस नेल्सन मंडेला से मिलते हैं एंड दैट्स द लास्ट पेज ऑफ द बुक, लास्ट पैराग्राफ. नेल्सन मंडेला के पास वो जाता है. नेल्सन मंडेला को अपनी गाड़ी में बुला लेता है कि यार आई नो यू सेड दैट यू शुड आई शुड साइन दैट फोटोग्राफ. आई एम गोइंग टू डू दैट. अब वो जैसे ही साइन कर रहा होता है वो पेन की इंक उस फोटोग्राफ पे गिर जाती है.
ओके.
पैडी अपटन इज लाइक गई पिक्चर, अब तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला. नेल्सन मंडेला इज वेयरिंग अ व्हाइट शर्ट बिकॉज़ प्रेसिडेंशियल का व्हाइट शर्ट और ग्रीन कोट होता है. वो ग्रीन शर्ट आता है व्हाइट से रिमूव करता है. नाउ दिस इज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंट्री, ओके, फॉर जस्ट साइनिंग एन ऑटोग्राफ. वो उसको रिमूव करता है और साइन करता है एंड ही सेज वन फेमस लाइन, हाउ यू डू एनीथिंग is how you do everything.
Wow,
that's it.
This is so good. How you do anything is how you do
everything. And that's how the book closes.
This is amazing, and I think this is exactly how we land this episode. Ali, thank you very much. I think the book is full of stories, and you've done a great job in
Thank you so
storytelling.
much.
Everybody who's live with us right now, if you enjoyed this episode, this was the 10th episode of the Bibliophile Circle. The previous 9 episodes are on our YouTube channel. If you missed them live, not an issue. Go ahead and go and learn, gain some insights on the 9 books that we've discussed in the past. This was the 10th episode, and next week we're bringing yet another amazing book with the 11th episode. Ali, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Hope to see you again, inshallah, in the
yeah,
future.
hopefully
Yeah,
with a
this was
different book.
just the beginning. This was just the beginning with a different book. The book that we were discussing today was The Barefoot Coach, about a coach, about a cricket coach who knows nothing about cricket and yet goes on and trains and coaches Indian team and then South African team, one success over other, and then goes on to train a domestic team in Australia. And for a little while, he came to Pakistan also to
Yeah,
train a domestic
is
team,
there?
Lahore Islanders. Didn't really work. There's a paragraph in the book. Go read about that. Uh, so thank you again for all those who joined
Yeah,
us. See you next week with our episode 11. Remember, keep thriving. Don't just survive, right? Thrive and don't just survive. Thank you very much.